Hello. Now we will see about a monolithic architecture overview. Before going to look into this, we will see about what they written here. Monolithic architecture allows the development of different components such as presentation, application logic, business logic, and data access objects, and then bundle them together in enterprise archive as AR, where to store them in a single directory. Yes. Here in monolithic architecture, everything stored as a single application, such as ER or WAR, and that ER WAR will be deployed into WebLogic server or any application servers. User is connecting these services through either it can be computer, it can be laptop, it can be iPod, it can be mobile or any other channel. If a particular service is looking, then he has to pass through presentation, application logic, and business and DAO and DB. And whatever the service, this life cycle is common. And suppose in business logic, we will be having one student search, and that particular student search is down, and rest of the modules are fine, like admin module or management module or staff module, any other modules will be fine, but only student module is having some issue. What will happen if a student module is down? This entire application will be down. Then even though other modules are working fine also, and due to student module down, then other applications, other modules will not function well. This is the main problem in monolithic architecture. To resolve that, suppose if one particular module, if one particular service is down, then my rest of the application should not be down. That facility is not available in monolithic architecture. That facility we can only achieve when we are going to use microservices. Let us see about a microservice architecture. And this is about a microservice architecture. And these three computers, they are considering as a UI or user interface, and this user interface will be passed through API gateway. From there it is reaching to one microservice 1 or API 1, and you can see microservice 2 API 2 and microservice 3 API 3. So this one act as a one individual. For one microservice, it is going to maintain as presentation, application logic, business logic, and DAO layer. When you go back to monolithic architecture, for entire application, they are maintaining only presentation logic, app logic, business logic, DAO layer. And in that monolithic application, more application, many modules will be there, many services will be there. But whereas in microservices, for each single service, they are going to maintain presentation layer, app layer, business logic layer, and DAO layer. So this one will act as a one service only. Suppose you can imagine that this is a entire system is defined for university, and this is a student service. Microservice 1 is a student service. Microservice 2 is a admin service. And microservice 3 is a management service. And when we are using microservices, each service will act as a one individual system. That is what this is, an autonomous system, and one individual system will take whole responsibility to execute presentation, app logic, business logic, and DAO layer. Suppose if one service is down, then rest of the services will be functioning fine. And whenever some services are down, and development team will take look into that issue, and they will resolve and they will make it up while rest of the services are running. So that what we are going to achieve, your application will not be down 100%. Maybe one or two services or 10 service in 100 services, if one or two services are down, that won't create a problem to application, because remaining 98 services are functioning well. This is the beauty of microservices, and this is an architecture of microservices, and they designed like each request should pass through API gateway. Suppose if you are working in a big organization and if you are working in a big project and they need a full security. Imagine like you are going to work in a financial or bank application, any bank application. They will be having internal API gateway or external API gateway and some other secured API gateways. Everything they will be maintained. So whenever request comes through computer or mobile or iPod, any channel, each and every request should pass through API gateway. From there, it has to reach to a service. Before reaching service, these layers should filter out and validate, authenticate the request, what kind of request it would be. So several layers it will be formed so that no effective service will be provided. And this API gateway and all this about API gateway and other layers we will discuss in upcoming session. This microservice designed such a way that each and every request, each and every service will be beautifully designed and it consisting of presentation logic, layer, app logic, business logic and DAO layer. Each and every service is maintained full life cycle of earlier systems. We are going to achieve, we are going to do same like monolithic, but we are handling in a different way. Like we are dividing complicated services into a small services. That is what microservices. And here principles of microservices principles are just like two principles only. One is like a single responsibility per service. Just now we discussed each and every service will be taking as a whole responsibility, because single responsibility means in this presentation logic, app logic, business logic, DAO, each and everything will take one service will consisting of a one whole responsibility. That is the reason each service a single responsibility per service. Principle 2, autonomous. Like as I said, in earlier systems we are going to deploy into var or AAR and we are going to deploy into one WebSphere server, or it can be we may deploy into multiple application servers. And this one is like in earlier systems how they followed similar way we are also following, but the thing is we are dividing services into small services and we are making it as a fat jar file, fat jar. So you can see in this microservice approach, each microservice will be built as a fat jar embedding all dependencies and run as a standalone Java process. This is the main point in microservice. And it would be created as a fat here a fat jar file, and it can be running as a standalone Java file. That is the beauty of microservices. So that no, what you are going to achieve means you can get a good scalability and speed of completing the development, and many more features will be there. All the other features will be discussing in upcoming sessions. This is what microservices architecture and introduction. And in upcoming sessions, we will look into API gateways and other features. And we will also see practical examples. Thank you.